All right, so we'll be starting off with Unit 13 equations and inequalities, under which we'll be studying different types of equations, about how to solve them, and then studying about different inequalities and how we deal with our inequalities of different types. So starting with very basic linear equations. Now, what are linear equations? Under linear equations, we're going to be doing equations that have the power of the unknown that is always going to be 1, which means that we're not going to be dealing with quadratic or cubic equations. We'll only be dealing with simple linear equations. Now, what comes under the linear equations is solving our linear equations. How to solve linear equations? This is the very basic algebraic equations that we've been doing before as well. So under linear equations, we'll be doing equations such as, for example, you have 3x plus 8 is equals to 14, and you have to find out the value of x. So applying the rules of algebra will be solving a linear equation in which we know that 8 will be taken to the other side, and we get 3x is equals to 14 minus 8, which is 3x is equals to 14 minus 8 gives us 6. And then this 3 would be divided on the other side, which would give us x is equals to 2. So under linear equations, we'll be solving all our linear equations through the algebraic rules that we've been doing up till now. Now, let's move to another linear equation that is in the form of fractions, for example. Now, if you've got, let's say, x over 3 minus 1 is equals to 4. So in this case, we'll be taking our whole numbers on one side and our fraction on the other side. So we have x over 3 is equals to 4 plus 1. Then we have x over 3 is equals to 5. And then this 3 will be multiplied by 5, gives us x is equals to 15. This was another type of linear equations that comes under this topic. Now, another thing that can happen is our cross multiplication that we've been doing before as well, which is, for example, 2x plus 3 over 4 is equals to 4x minus 2 over 6. So in cross multiplication, we know we'll be multiplying it like this, and we'll be getting 12x plus 6 3s are 18 is equals to 4 4s are 16x minus 4 2s are 8. We'll be taking our x terms in x to one side. So we have 16x minus 12x. We have 18 plus 8. So 18 plus 8 gives us 26 is equals to 16 minus 12 is 4x. So we'll be simplifying 26 over 4, which will give us the value of x. So this was another type of linear equation that we'll be doing. Now, moving towards inequality. What are inequalities? Now, we'll be just discussing our linear inequalities today. So under linear inequalities, we know that in equations, we always have an is equals to sign in between. However, in inequalities, we have a greater than, a less than, a greater than and equal to, or a less than and equal to sign. So we don't have is equals to in inequalities, but we have these specific symbols. What do they really represent is, for example, we have two numbers, 5 and 3, and we know our 5 is greater than 3, so we will be putting this sign in between. So the side on which it has an open end, it faces towards the larger number. Now, for example, if you've got two numbers that are, let's say, 2 and 4, so our sign will be reversed and it would be 2 is less than 4. Now, if you have, for example, some we say that our 2x is equals to 4y. All right, I'm already saying that it is equal to, and I say that it's greater than 4y as well. It is equal to and greater than. So we'll be putting this symbol, and in opposite to this symbol, we'll be having this symbol, which can be, for example, let's just shift the places of the last one. 4y is less than 2x. So 2x is greater than 4y and 4y is less than 2x is the same thing. But applying both the signs means that it is less than and equal to that number. It's not just greater than or less than, it is less than and equal to that number. So in under linear inequalities, what we'll be doing is, for example, if they give you some linear inequality that is 15 plus 3x is less than 6. and they ask you to find the value of x and represent that on a number line to solve this linear inequality. Now we'll be solving this linear inequality with this thing in our mind that this means nothing more than n is equals to sign. So we'll be solving the linear inequality just like how we solve our simple linear equation. So let's just solve this. What we get is 3x less than 6 minus 15. 6 minus 15 gives us 9. So this is, sorry, minus 9. 3x is less than minus 9. So we have x is less than minus 9 over 3, which gives us x is less than minus 3. Now we didn't get a value of x, we got that our x is any number that is less than minus 3. Now we'll have to represent this on a number line. How are we going to represent this on a number line? For example, you've got this number line that is 0, minus 1. Let's just take it from here. 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So I know that my x lies on minus 3. So I have a dot over here. Now, since I have an is a less than or a greater than sign in between, I'm not going to fill my circle. All right, I'm just going to draw a hollow circle. And since it's less than minus 3, my arrow is going to point towards the left, which is less than minus 3. If my answer was x is greater than minus 3, so I'll be writing this as, I'll be making the line as, or representing it on the number line as x is greater than minus 3. All right.
Okay.
Now, if I talk about how we're going to be solving our inequalities when we have a greater than and equal to or a less than and equal to sign in between is, for example, you have 17 is less than and equal to 7x plus 3. So we'll be first solving this equation to find the value of x. So I have 17 minus 3 is less than and equal to 7x. We'll always try to keep our x positive so that we can finally write the answer as when x is positive, or else we'll have to multiply it with a minus 1 in the end. So we'll try to keep our x positive from the first step. So 17 minus 3 gives me 14 is less than and equal to 7x, and dividing by 7 on both sides, I get 2 is less than and equal to x. Now I know that my 2 is less than and equal to x means that my x is greater than and equal to 2, because the open side of the symbol is on this side, so my x is going to be greater than 2. Now on the number line, how we're going to be doing that is, for example, now I know my number line must have a 2 in it. So I'm just going to start it from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I have a number line like this on which I have to represent x is greater than n less than greater than and equal to 2, so I have a circle on 2. However, since there is an equal to sign in between, I'll be making a circle that is not hollow, which means I'll be making a filled circle, and my arrow would be pointing on the right because it is greater than 2. If it would have been less than and equal to 2, for example, if my answer was x is less than and equal to 2, I'd be making a point or number line where my dot is filled and it's on 2. However, my arrow um, directs towards the left because it's my x is less than and equal to 2. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how you're going to be solving inequalities. Now, another thing that comes under your inequalities is the range of values. Now, what do they mean by range of values? So this is inequalities with a range of values. So a range of values means that your x does not have a single value, but it has multiple values, or it has a range of values which is extended on the number line. So by that, what I mean is, for example, they've got a question that says 4 is less than 2x and it is less than and equal to 8. So now we have two signs here. So what we'll be doing is we'll be dividing this particular equation or this particular inequality into two different sums, two different equations. So I'll be taking the first part as the first one and the second part as the second one. So in the first part, I'll be having 4 and 2x. So my equation becomes 4 is less than 2x. Therefore, my x becomes 4 over 2, which gives me 2 is less than x, or x is greater than 2. However, on the other side, I have 2x and 8. So I'll be writing it as 2x is less than and equal to 8. Therefore, my x comes out to be 8 over 2, which gives me 4. So now I have two values of x, and they're saying that my x is greater than 2 in this one, and my x is less than and equal to 4 in this one. So now on the number line, what I'm going to do is, let me clear this. So my answers came out to be x is greater than 2 and x is less than and equal to 4. So on my number line, if I have, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's just add 5 as well. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my number line. So the first part says that x is greater than 2. So I'll be drawing a hollow circle on 2, and since it's greater than 2, my arrow will be pointing on the right. Now the second one says that x is less than and equal to 4. So when x is less than and equal to 4, my values become, there will be a filled circle on 4 because there's an equal to sign, and since it's less than 4, so my arrow is going to point towards this side. Now the range of values that come between these two is the intersection of your points. The intersection of your points, or all the numbers in between the 2 points, is going to be your answer. And how you're going to be writing that is, your x has a range of values in which it is greater than 2, which means your x is greater than 2, and it is less than and equal to 4, which means it is less than and equal to 4. So you'll be writing your answer in a range of values kind of answer. All right.
Can you explain the number line part again, like the range of values part?
Okay, sure. Wait. So my answers came out to be x is greater than 2, which gives me a hollow circle here with a greater than sign over here. All right.
Okay.
And then they say that it's less than and equal to 4. So I have a filled circle on 4, and my arrow now points towards the left. So now the intersection of the 2 points, or the area or the common ground between the 2 points, is the one where I have both the arrows. Now I have both the arrows in between this part, right? Because after this, here I don't have this arrow downwards. When I'm talking about this side, I only have this one arrow over here. There's nothing over here. So the two arrows where they're intersecting is only this area. And however, even if you don't talk about the number line, when we talk about this particular answer and how we're going to be writing that into one single answer is, you have an x, you have x is greater than 2, which means that x is greater than 2 and is less than and equal to 4. It is less than and equal to 4. So you'd be reading this out as x is greater than 2 and it is less than and equal to 4. So since our question was in the same format, we'll be giving the answer in the same format, which is a range of values. Now our x lies between 2 and 4. However, it is not going to be 2 because it is greater than 2. And it can be 4 because it is less than and equal to 4. So it's going to be either 3 or 4. We know that through our number line. And this hollow circle represents that the number that is represented by on this particular circle is not the part of your values. However, if it is a solid circle, it means that this particular value is included in your answer. So your final answer would become x is greater than 2 and less than and